Hello, grounded Taurus. Some changes don't arrive with dramatic announcements. They begin quietly, like roots settling deeper into rich soil before new growth appears above the surface. Long before a tree stretches toward the sky, it strengthens what cannot yet be seen. And your own journey may be unfolding in much the same way. One of the strongest themes emerging for you is the possibility of creating a relationship that feels steadier, more genuine, and built on something that can endure. Instead of chasing certainty, allow yourself to become more present with what is naturally unfolding, because the less tightly you hold on to control, the more room life has to reveal meaningful possibilities. Sometimes the strongest foundations are formed not through dramatic moments, but through small choices made consistently with patience and sincerity. The energy surrounding your connections invites you to notice what truly nourishes your heart. Whatever receives your consistent attention is what gradually becomes stronger. So invest your thoughts in the parts of this relationship that leave you feeling respected, valued, and at peace, rather than feeding fear or outside expectations. Ask yourself which moments leave you feeling more like yourself instead of asking you to become someone different. Lasting closeness grows through honesty and mutual trust, creating a foundation strong enough to support shared dreams, future plans, or meaningful projects that reflect what both of you care about. When two people feel safe enough to grow without pretending, the relationship becomes a place of renewal rather than obligation. If you hope to deepen this bond, don't expect the other person to understand what remains unspoken. Let them hear your hopes, your concerns, and even the quiet thoughts that seem too ordinary to mention. Because emotional safety is built through simple conversations repeated over time, the smallest truths often become the strongest bridges between two hearts when they are shared with openness instead of fear. At the same time, remember to stay connected to yourself, because there are moments when holding on to familiar emotions or responsibilities can make it difficult to recognize what truly belongs to your own heart. The more honestly you understand your own feelings, the more naturally you create space for someone else to understand them as well. Take a moment to ask yourself whether you're protecting something because it still supports your growth, or simply because it feels familiar. There is comfort in what is known, but comfort and fulfillment are not always the same thing. Healthy love never asks you to abandon your own voice, and expressing your needs is not a sign of distance, but of trust. In many ways, vulnerability is simply another form of courage. The courage to believe that honesty can strengthen a connection instead of threatening it. Real harmony develops when both people feel secure enough to be honest, respected enough to set boundaries, and valued enough to remain fully themselves. Growth rarely happens without a few adjustments, and that doesn't mean anything is going wrong. Every sincere conversation can strengthen your confidence, and every challenge can help you understand yourself and your relationship more deeply. Moments of discomfort often reveal where old habits are making room for healthier patterns, allowing both people to grow without losing their individuality. If you find comfort in spiritual guidance, let it remind you that you don't have to carry every uncertainty alone. Choosing openness allows genuine companionship to become something you experience together, rather than something you struggle to maintain by yourself, making each step forward feel less like a burden and more like a shared journey. Love is often shaped through ordinary moments that quietly gather meaning over time. A thoughtful gesture, shared laughter, patient listening, or simply showing up with consistency. These simple acts may seem small when they happen, yet they gradually become the memories that define the strength of a relationship. As this chapter unfolds, allow yourself to strengthen trust while appreciating what already exists, instead of becoming consumed by what has not yet happened. There is deep peace in recognizing that lasting love is built one honest moment at a time, rather than through constant certainty about the future. Lasting change is less about forcing life in a particular direction, and more about becoming the kind of person who can welcome it with an open heart, trusting that what is rooted in authenticity naturally grows stronger with time. Remember that reflections like these are symbolic rather than certain, and they may not mirror every detail of your personal experience. Their purpose is not to predict your future, but to encourage a deeper conversation with yourself about the path you're already walking. Keep the ideas that genuinely resonate with your journey, and release anything that doesn't feel true for you without feeling that you've missed something important. Your path is uniquely your own, so let your intuition, your values, and your thoughtful judgment guide the meaning you choose to carry forward. The more you trust that quiet inner wisdom, the more confidently you'll recognize which opportunities deserve your energy and which are simply passing through on their way to teaching a different lesson. If this reflection speaks to you or leaves you with a greater sense of peace, I'd truly appreciate your support with a like. Every gesture of support helps these conversations reach someone else who may be searching for the same kind of thoughtful guidance, reassurance, or quiet encouragement. It also reminds me that there is genuine value in creating these reflections with care, intention, and respect for the unique journey each person is walking. This community continues to grow because of people who choose to share kindness, curiosity, and an open heart. And that makes every new reading even more meaningful. Rather than looking for lucky signs outside yourself, consider the symbols that resonate with the journey you're living. A rich moss green reflects the emotional landscape surrounding this chapter, evoking steady growth, quiet confidence, and the patience of a forest that has learned to flourish one season at a time. It is a color that speaks of roots rather than appearances, reminding you that the strongest transformations are often invisible until they have become impossible to shape. Wearing this shade, or simply surrounding yourself with its calming presence, can serve as a gentle reminder to return to what feels rooted, balanced, and authentically yours whenever the outside world begins to pull your attention in too many directions. If you find comfort in nature, give yourself permission to step away from constant demands and reconnect with the world that exists beyond schedules and expectations. A walk beneath old trees, time spent in a garden, or a quiet moment beside a river, lake, or any peaceful landscape can restore a sense of perspective that is difficult to find through endless thinking alone. Even noticing the changing light across the leaves or the steady rhythm of the wind can remind you that growth unfolds through consistency rather than urgency. Every environment has its own rhythm, so wherever you are, allow yourself to notice the quiet ways the natural world reminds you that meaningful growth is never rushed and that everything living follows a pace uniquely suited to its own purpose. As this phase of your journey continues, you may discover a growing confidence in your own instincts and a deeper appreciation for experiences that help you build something lasting. Whether you're learning a new skill, beginning a creative pursuit, or investing more care in your home and daily routines, you're strengthening foundations that can support you well into the future. Small choices repeated with intention often become the very things that reshape an entire season of life. Real stability isn't created by resisting change, it grows through thoughtful choices that remain aligned with your values, allowing each decision to reinforce the life you're patiently building instead of pulling you away from it. You may also feel inspired to reshape parts of your physical surroundings, whether that means refreshing your living space, simplifying what no longer serves you, or imagining a lifestyle that feels calmer and more sustainable. Sometimes even the smallest changes, a more welcoming corner of your home, clearing away unnecessary clutter, or creating space for quiet reflection, can subtly shift the way you experience each day. Even welcome changes require an adjustment period, so give yourself permission to settle into each new step without expecting immediate certainty. Like roots finding deeper soil, lasting transformation often happens quietly before its full shape becomes visible, gradually creating a stronger sense of peace from the inside out. There is a quiet sense that your steady efforts are beginning to receive the recognition they deserve. Someone may express gratitude for the support you've offered, reminding you that kindness often leaves a deeper impression than you realize. You may also begin noticing that opportunities appear because of the reputation you've built through consistency rather than self-promotion. Rather than waiting for one dramatic breakthrough, notice the smaller shifts that reveal your path becoming more stable, more balanced, and more aligned with the person you're growing into. Those subtle moments often become the turning points that matter most in the long run. The magician can be understood as a symbol of your ability to work with the resources already in your hands. Instead of promising instant results, this archetype invites you to recognize that your patience, practical wisdom, and consistent effort are powerful tools for shaping meaningful progress, especially in your work and long-term goals. It also reminds you that confidence grows through action, not through waiting until every uncertainty disappears. The opportunities that matter most are often the ones you are quietly preparing yourself to receive, long before they become visible to anyone else. The Nine of Cups reflects the satisfaction that comes from honoring your own values, instead of measuring yourself against outside expectations. As a Taurus, your greatest fulfillment often grows through persistence rather than speed, and there is quiet confidence in seeing how far you've come, without needing constant recognition. The joy represented by this card isn't rooted in perfection, but in the peaceful realization that your life is becoming more aligned with what genuinely matters to you. Your calm resilience naturally encourages others, not because you seek attention, but because authentic growth has a way of speaking for itself through everyday actions and quiet integrity. The King of Wands introduces the presence of someone whose interest in you feels both genuine and compelling. Their admiration may be sparked by the grounded way you carry yourself and the quiet confidence that has become more visible over time. They may be drawn less to what you say and more to the calm certainty with which you live according to your values, finding reassurance in your steady presence. Whether this connection develops into something deeper or simply invites meaningful reflection, it reminds you that true attraction is sustained by emotional safety, mutual respect, and the freedom for both people to continue growing as themselves. Relationships built on that kind of foundation often deepen naturally because neither person feels the need to become someone else in order to be loved. The Wheel of Fortune can be seen as a reminder that life naturally moves through seasons of stillness and renewal. If parts of your path have felt slow or uncertain, this card suggests that subtle movement may already be taking place beneath the surface, even before visible results appear. Just as roots continue to spread long before new branches can be seen, meaningful change often begins in ways that are easy to overlook. For Taurus, meaningful progress is rarely built through haste, but through patience, steady commitment, and a willingness to recognize opportunities as they gradually emerge. New responsibilities, supportive mentors, fresh environments, or meaningful projects may become part of that unfolding, helping you create a life that feels increasingly stable, authentic, and aligned with the values that matter most to you. Justice brings the image of balance restored through honesty, accountability, and thoughtful choices. Rather than promising specific outcomes, it encourages you to trust that integrity has lasting value, especially when important conversations, agreements, or decisions require a clear and steady mind. It is also a reminder that fairness begins with the relationship you have with yourself, asking whether your choices truly reflect your deepest priorities rather than outside expectations. You may find yourself resolving situations that once felt uncertain, not because circumstances become perfect overnight, but because your confidence in your own judgment continues to deepen. That quiet confidence often becomes the foundation from which wiser and more lasting decisions naturally emerge. Within family life, themes of care and responsibility may naturally come into focus. Conversations about supporting an older relative or sharing responsibilities could encourage everyone to look at familiar situations from a broader perspective, creating space for understanding instead of assumption. If those circumstances don't reflect your experience, the message gently turns inward, reminding you that caring for yourself is also an important responsibility. There is nothing selfish about protecting your own energy when doing so allows you to remain present, patient, and emotionally available for the people who matter most. Protecting your own well-being creates a stronger foundation from which you can genuinely support the people you love. Professionally, your consistent effort and dependable approach may become more visible to those around you. Colleagues and leaders are more likely to recognize the quiet competence you've been building over time, and opportunities to solve meaningful challenges may highlight strengths you have developed through experience rather than quick success. Others may begin seeking your perspective because they trust your ability to remain calm when situations become complex. Recognition carries greater value when it reflects who you truly are instead of who you feel pressured to become, and that authenticity has the power to strengthen both your confidence and your professional reputation. Financially, this chapter encourages thoughtful stewardship rather than dramatic promises of abundance. The ideas and skills you patiently cultivated may begin opening practical opportunities through career development, creative work, careful investments, or trusted collaborations that appreciate your long-term vision. Sustainable prosperity is often built through a series of intentional choices rather than one extraordinary breakthrough, and your natural appreciation for stability supports that approach. Stay open to people who recognize your reliability and want to contribute to something meaningful alongside you, while continuing to make choices that strengthen lasting security instead of chasing temporary rewards. Each careful decision becomes another investment in the future you're patiently creating. As your confidence grows, remember that genuine prosperity begins with believing your steady efforts have value. Self-worth is not measured only by achievements or possessions, but by the quiet trust you develop in your ability to build a meaningful life, one thoughtful decision at a time. There may be moments when you question whether your slower pace is enough, yet your greatest strength has never been speed, it has always been endurance. Every intentional choice becomes another stone along a path that supports your future with strength and consistency, reminding you that lasting fulfillment is created through persistence rather than urgency. In matters of the heart, love asks for presence rather than perfection. If you're already sharing your life with someone, this may be an invitation to move beyond familiar routines by creating more space for affection, honest conversation, and experiences that help both of you continue growing together. Sometimes the smallest gestures, a thoughtful question, an unhurried conversation, or simply making time for one another, carry more meaning than grand declarations. Lasting intimacy is strengthened when emotional safety allows each person to feel accepted without sacrificing their individuality, creating a relationship where trust deepens naturally over time. If you're single, remain open to connections that develop naturally instead of expecting instant certainty. Someone who initially seems quietly familiar rather than immediately extraordinary may reveal unexpected depth as trust grows through genuine conversation. Instead of searching for perfection, notice how a person makes you feel when you're simply able to be yourself without pretense or pressure. Sometimes the strongest relationships begin not with dramatic chemistry, but with the comforting realization that you can be fully yourself in another person's presence. Those slower beginnings often create the strongest foundations because they allow understanding to grow before expectations take hold. Family relationships also benefit when your own inner stability becomes more deeply rooted. As you respond to life with greater patience and self-awareness, those around you often feel encouraged to communicate more openly and approach one another with greater understanding. Your willingness to listen before reacting can quietly change the atmosphere within your home, making difficult conversations feel more constructive and moments of joy more meaningful. Everyday moment sharing responsibilities, improving your home, or simply spending meaningful time together can quietly strengthen the sense of belonging that supports everyone involved. In many ways, the steadiness you cultivate within yourself becomes an invitation for those around you to discover greater balance within their own lives as well. Family has a quiet way of reminding you that your personal growth is never yours alone. As you become more grounded in your own values, the calm and stability you cultivate naturally extend to the people who share your life, often in ways that are subtle yet deeply meaningful. The patience you practice, the boundaries you honor, and the kindness you show yourself quietly shape the emotional atmosphere around you. Lead with compassion while remembering that your own needs deserve the same care you so willingly offer others, because a balanced heart creates space where everyone has the opportunity to flourish without feeling that someone must sacrifice themselves to keep the peace. This chapter also encourages you to create more room for rest alongside responsibility. As your life becomes better organized and your priorities feel clearer, don't mistake constant activity for lasting progress. There is wisdom in knowing when to pause, just as there is strength in knowing when to move forward. Your body and mind both benefit from moments of stillness, and allowing yourself genuine rest often restores the clarity needed to move forward with confidence. Sometimes your next meaningful step isn't found by pushing harder, but by giving yourself enough quiet to hear what your own intuition has been trying to tell you. You may notice yourself feeling increasingly connected to the natural world, whether through time spent outdoors or simply by bringing more calm into your everyday surroundings. Ancient trees, open fields, quiet gardens, or even a peaceful corner of your own home can become gentle reminders that meaningful growth follows its own rhythm. Nature never rushes to prove its worth, and there is comfort in remembering that your journey doesn't need to unfold according to anyone else's timeline. The more deeply you reconnect with what feels authentic and steady, the more easily your inner world begins to settle, allowing your decisions to arise from confidence instead of pressure. At the same time, be mindful of carrying responsibilities that were never yours to solve. Offering support is an act of kindness, but trying to fix every challenge faced by friends or loved ones can quietly drain your own energy until there is very little left for yourself. Compassion becomes far more sustainable when it grows alongside healthy boundaries, rather than replacing them. The greatest gift you can offer others is often your steady presence, clear boundaries, and the example of someone who cares without losing themselves in the process. Your calm presence may inspire more healing than any solution you could force into place. There may also be moments when familiarity feels safer than change, even if your heart is quietly asking for something different. It's natural to hold on to routines, places, or expectations that once made you feel secure. Yet growth sometimes begins by gently questioning whether those familiar patterns still reflect who you are becoming. If you're considering refreshing your surroundings, beginning a new chapter, or letting go of habits that no longer reflect who you're becoming, allow yourself to explore those possibilities with patience instead of fear. Lasting confidence is built one thoughtful decision at a time, and each step forward strengthens your trust in your own resilience, while reminding you that true stability can evolve without being lost. If you're learning, studying, or developing new skills, remain open to the people you meet along the way. A conversation, collaboration, or unexpected friendship could inspire a new direction or reveal an opportunity you hadn't previously considered. Sometimes the most valuable lessons arrive through ordinary exchanges rather than extraordinary events, leaving an impression that continues to shape your path long afterward. Even if progress feels gradual, your dedication is laying a foundation that will continue to support you long after the effort itself is complete, proving that consistent care often creates the strongest results. You may also discover that certain people naturally complement your energy during this stage of your journey. Connections with those who encourage honest conversation, shared purpose, and mutual respect are likely to feel especially meaningful, regardless of their zodiac sign. Pay attention to how you feel after spending time with someone, rather than focusing only on first impressions or surface similarities. Focus less on labels and more on the quality of the connection itself, because genuine compatibility is built through trust, curiosity, and a willingness to grow together while honoring each person's individuality. As we come to the end of this reflection, thank you for sharing these moments with me. My hope is not to tell you what your path should be, but to offer ideas that encourage deeper awareness and help you see your own journey from a fresh perspective. Every person's experience unfolds differently, and your own inner wisdom will always understand the details of your life better than any general reflection ever could. Keep what truly resonates with your heart, let go of what doesn't, and trust your own wisdom to guide the choices that matter most, allowing each step to become another expression of the life you're consciously creating. If this message brought you clarity or encouragement, I'd be grateful if you supported the channel with a like. Your support helps these reflections reach others who may need them, creating a community where thoughtful conversations and personal growth can continue to flourish. If you'd like to continue exploring future readings together, you're always welcome to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new reflection. Thank you for being here, for sharing your time and your trust, and for being part of this thoughtful community. Wishing you peace, steady strength, quiet confidence, and the courage to continue growing into the most authentic version of yourself, one meaningful step at a time.